Welcome back, everyone. Tim and Miriam from Well Done Homestead, and we are going to go through our top 5 each. Top things to have so you can barter with them if there's an SHTF situation. So that's what we're going to do today. Alrighty, so first off, I'm going to have Miriam go through her top 5, and then I'll go through my top 5, and we each are, we were each to prepare 2 alternates, like just in case we had some crossover or whatever, but ultimately, hopefully you'll go away from this with at least 10 good things to have that you should stockpile now, so that if there is a problem, an SHTF situation, that you can use these things to barter with. So, Myrm?
Well, initially I had trouble thinking of 5, but then once I got started, I ended up with a lot more than 2 alternates.
That's fine.
I did bring some props to kind of show you. One of the first things on my list, when the crap hits the fan, you may or may not have access to water. Being clean, it could be a life or death difference. So it is a good idea to have sanitizer on hand. This is a great thing to barter because people can't wash their hands, don't have water. Hand sanitizer is a big deal.
Yep. And if you can find them cheap, we have a restaurant around here that's like a bent and dent kind of thing, and sometimes you can find this kind of stuff for really cheap and pick it up and just hang on to it, put it in a cool, dry place so that you don't have to worry about it going bad or anything like that. But yeah, that's very wise.
And by restaurant, he means store.
Wait, did I say restaurant?
Yes. He doesn't do the shopping.
Yeah, but I do eat there. Yeah. No, I don't. Anyway, all right, that's number 2.
The other one thing I thought of is a small sewing kit. I went through my large sewing kit because I had small sewing kits in there, and the kits have, they have all disappeared. The most I could find was a variety of needles that I keep in this thing. Even a single needle would be a good bartering item. It's a variety of different sizes.
I gotta tell you,
for needles.
This one right here is probably not bad for stitches. I wouldn't want you to use that on me for stitches because that's gonna be like...
It would be creating a lot of new wounds.
That'd be very large openings.
But you can sew large pieces of fabric with the needle this size. But you can get sewing kits complete with a thimble, a threader, a variety of threads. Now they're not a large amount, but different colors, several needles. Those kits are about $1 at Walmart. You probably could buy them in bulk for Amazon. Even cheaper than that.
Yep.
You know, get a whole bunch of them. Those are great. People are going to definitely need to make their clothes last. So sewing on buttons, whatever. Sewing kit's a good idea.
Yep. Number 3.
Over-the-counter painkillers. These are actually children's. I just happened to grab these, but children's is good too because
it works.
Kids get sick, and they need the correct dosage, which a lot of people won't know how to dose down for a child. Obviously, a variety of aspirin, Tylenol.
That's true.
Sinus medications, that kind of thing.
Eye drops even.
Yes, eye drops.
Like saline.
Actually. I mean, all of a sudden when you can't get a hold of these things and you're really miserable and desperate to have them.
Yep. Number 4.
Number 4, I said, see now, here's the problem. Once I started really thinking, I have some farther down on my list that I think I might have moved up further on my list, but that's okay. Matches and lighters, when you need to start a fire, in order to stay warm and therefore alive, most of us don't have the ability to rub sticks together and start a fire. I know I don't. So matches and lighters are great. They'll be worth their weight in gold.
Yep, that's true. Number 5.
I have on here, Well, I'm going to skip my number 5
She's
that I have written here. I do have a long list. And I'm going to skip my number 6 too.
All right.
And I'm pretty sure number 7 is on your list.
All right.
So we won't be redundant. But something that I thought of that it's really important, small utensils, can openers. Oh, this is wet. This is literally dripping water everywhere.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, back to the utensils, something like a can opener, a knife. People don't have a knife, and people don't carry knives.
You're doubling up. That's not
I know,
fair.
these are a bunch of utensils together. This is how I got around it. Pair of scissors.
It's not.
Nail clippers.
Dude, you're dripping everywhere.
Tweezers. Just think of small items you can border with.
out of my box.
I did. Okay.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
All right. So
am I at number 6 yet? I mean 5?
That was
or is it my
that
alternate?
Was number 5. No, that was
this
number
one's
5.
actually probably the most
No.
important.
We'll do the alternates after. We'll do them after.
Okay.
You can
Don't
do
steal
I
this
won't
one.
steal it. It's not on my list. It's not on my list. Okay. So for me, I'm going to say number 1 is going to be alcohol. Getting these little tiny little things of alcohol. I don't drink Southern Comfort, but I'll tell you what, people who have addictions like this, when you can't get this, they are going to be willing to barter in order to get it. And I'm just saying, I think that having this is important. It's also medicinal.
I was just going to say, it's about the medicinal part too. I mean, you can even use it to cleanse out a wound.
Yes,
before
you can. It'll burn like fire. It'll burn like fire. But so medicinally, you could use it, and not ingesting, but like to clean wounds and sanitize things. You could use that alcohol for that.
It's medicinal for ingesting if you're about to do an unmedicated
surgery or something like that. That's true. All right.
Get somebody through a small surgery if necessary.
Booze. Number 2 for me is going to be the same thing she said. I have ibuprofen. So ibuprofen, Tylenol, Advil, aspirin, acetaminophen. I mean, all of those kinds of oral painkillers that you can do. Yeah, I know. It's the same. I said ibuprofen too, and then I said acetaminophen. And anyway. But yeah, all of these are going to be necessary. And honestly, they're going to be hard to get. So stockpiling and being able to, if you're going, because let's put it this way. When you have a situation, when there's an SHTF situation, if you get beyond the 2 to 3 month mark, things are going to start to try to normalize, and you're going to have communities trying to work together with one another. Hopefully your communities are going to try to work together with each other. Some communities are going to have some things, some are not going to have other things. You're not going to bring your whole parcel with you. You take a few things with you and you use that to barter to get the things that you need. So if you have ibuprofen, if you have Tylenol, put it in, have some Ziploc baggies, put it in some Ziploc baggies or some pill bottles. Take that with you rather than taking the whole batch and use that as a means to barter. Number 3 for me, she stole this one too. She said matches, I said lighters. Now, lighters, I'm actually going to tell you, there's an account that I read of civil unrest that took place in, I want to say it was either Argentina or somewhere in South America. I don't remember exactly where it was. But the guy, it was complete bedlam. It was bad. Like, things were a mess. It was civil war happening, completely without rule of law. He said that he had stockpiled some lighters, and he said those were the biggest thing that he traded. He said if he had it to do over again, he would have purchased 1,000 more just to have them on hand, because everybody needs to use a fire, whether you're cooking, whether you're purifying water, whatever you're trying to do. Lighters, they're going to become...
They saved his life.
Yes, they did.
Kept him alive
through that time. So lighters, you can get these 50 of them in a pack on Amazon right now for like $48 or something like that. I know it's like $1 a piece, but I'm telling you, if you've got a couple $100 that you can put towards having some lighters, having 200 lighters is going to get you pretty far. It really will. So lighters or matches. Matches are also really important. Ferro rods. Number 4.
I just wanted to do that because he was pushing me.
Okay. Fair enough. So I snagged the coffee can and some tea bags. These are, she's got tea too. This is important because let's face it, I'm going to tell you right now, I am trying to wean myself back from drinking as many cups of coffee as I do because caffeine is a dependency, and if you don't have it, you're going to have a headache for 3 weeks. Some people are not going to be able to function without caffeine in the event of a situation where it's SHTF. Having coffee, having tea to be able to barter with, it's going to be important. You can get those K-cups too. If you get a bunch of K-cups, I know that you won't be able to use your Keurig, which isn't a big deal, but you'll be able to cut the K-cups open and use that to make coffee in a coffee pot.
Let's face it, I will trade all of my things for this coffee.
I won't let her. I won't let her. Anyway, my number 5 is going to be extremely, what's the word? What's the word when it's like controversial? That's it. When it's going to be very controversial, and that is this. My number 5 is 22 LR ammo, but only 22 LR. I'm saying not all ammunition. I'm not saying your pistol ammo. I'm not saying your rifle ammo. Just 22 LR. And the reason why is because it's super cheap right now. You can get thousands of rounds, and you can use. This is going to become currency because you can use this to shoot rabbits, to shoot squirrels, to shoot cats, to shoot dogs, to eat in order to stay alive. Okay, this is going to become very, very important. So make sure you have enough for yourself, but also stockpile enough of this that you can actually barter with it. And I know that's going to be controversial. There's going to be a bunch of people that are going to be extremely like, don't get rid of your ammunition. I would agree if you're talking about your self-defense stuff. This is not exactly your self-defense stuff. This is good enough to keep you fed. And that's going to become important. But anyway, this is my number 5. Okay, runner-up stuff. Miriam, what was your top 2 runner-up? Because I know you have like 8 more things on your list.
Something that I think is important. This is like a single-serve packet of mac and cheese. If people are starving, they're not going to be picky about what it is. We can just trade a quick meal. All they need is hot water. Yeah. So that makes it food accessible to anyone. You're not losing anything. You're not giving a jar. You're not using a container. It's already prepackaged.
I will say this. Can I put a caveat in there? If you're going to do that, make sure that you're very, very careful. Because if somebody thinks that you have enough food that you're sharing, they may follow you home and try to take all you have.
That's true of any resources that you barter with, though.
That's true. You're right.
Because they'll see your Advil as a source of food for them if they can barter it for food as well.
That's true. So anything that you barter with, you're going to need to be careful.
Yeah.
Really. So yeah. All right. Next one.
Kind of my number 1. It's very high on my list.
Oh, why wasn't it in your list?
Because I didn't get a chance to redo it according to my top. I just was writing a list. Okay. And it got wet.
Well, that's because you had
because of that.
It was
seeds.
Absolutely. That's
because
a really good
one. If you can grow your own food, you're not dependent.
That's true.
On other people.
That's true.
You don't have to trade for food. You can grow your own food. You do your own work. I caution you when buying your own seeds for your own use, but just in general, make sure that you get heirloom seeds because that way you'll get a consistent product with what you plant. You can save your own seeds, which we do, and plant them year after year. If you get hybrid seeds, who knows?
Just
you don't know what you might end up with.
That's true.
So seeds are huge.
Something along with that, hopefully in your community, you're going to have people that might have soil that's different than yours, and they might be able to grow one thing, and you grow a different thing, and then you can barter with those vegetables and kind of trade back and forth. We have a good community like that where we can work with those people. It's super important to have that. And it's also, as far as having your community, if you have a garden and you have a community garden, that can be very, very beneficial too, because then you guys all take turns taking care of it. We'll clip that out. Or maybe we won't. All right, I will let you have one more. I'm going to let you have a third one.
I don't. Oh, well, I suppose there's candles. Is that what you were talking about?
Yep.
As light sources. I mean, once you start thinking about the things that you use every day, you start thinking of a million different things you could use. Yeah. But without electricity.
Right. And batteries are going to run out.
Yeah. Of course, we know that if you kill an animal, you save the fat, you make your own candles, you can do all that. But for your average person, they may not have the time, resource, or knowledge to. And knowledge is a resource, just so you know. You need to be stockpiling your knowledge for yourself.
Yeah, indeed.
And books, because you don't remember.
All right. So my 3 that I did not have in my top 5. Number 1 is I didn't actually grab it out of my pack. I have these in my pack. And honestly, we have more, but they're up in our stuff. And that's iodine tablets. Being able to purify water with iodine tablets and being able having those stockpiled so that you can actually share those with other people. Water is going to become scarce, and wholesome water, like good water, is going to be even more difficult. Being able to purify your water with an iodine tablet after you boil it and all that is going to be really important. Pens and pencils, believe it or not, you're not going to be able to write anything down if you don't have it, and these are going to disappear. So I would say if you have the ability to stockpile pencils, they're not expensive. You could actually use those to trade. And then the last one is nails of various sizes. Eventually, society will hopefully be rebuilding, and as that happens, you're not going to have your blacksmith smith nails for you, because that will be a major pain in the butt. So having some nails of various sizes that you can use for yourself, as well as some that you can trade or share with your community, is going to be really, really important. Those are my 3 runners up. I think that we've got way more than 10. I think we're at like 15 or 14 or something like that. But anyway, so that is our lists of 5 each, plus our runners up. Now, these are not in any specific order, and this is just our top of our head kind of list as we were putting things together to think of that we could stockpile in order to trade with people in order to stay alive in a SHTF situation. Now, your list might be different, and I want to hear about it. So make sure you put it in the comments. Let us know. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Our next video, and maybe you guys are kind of sick of seeing like radio type stuff, but I have a little tidbit that I'm going to share with you for the next video. And it's these guys right here, right there. And if you don't know what that is, we'll go through that together and hopefully be able to do a little demonstration. And it may not be the next video, but that is definitely coming. A video on that is definitely coming. So thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us tonight. Actually, I don't know when you're going to watch this, so whenever you watch it, it's nighttime for us. But anyway, hope you guys all have a good one. Thank you so very much for supporting us, and stay prepared.